Every child needs a home that's safe, permanent, and provides for their well-being. Removing a child from their home can be traumatic and have lasting effects on their health, educational attainment, employment, and housing. So the New Mexico Children's Code mandates that unity of the family must be preserved whenever possible and that reasonable efforts must be made to prevent removal. When making decisions around separating children from their families, there's a thorough process that the Children, Youth, and Families Department, or CYFD for short, must follow to prevent unnecessary removals. When a call of suspected child abuse or neglect is received, the process begins. Let's look at an average year for CYFD. Close to 40,000 calls are received with reports of suspected neglect or abuse. Nearly half actually have enough information and specific allegations to investigate. Of the reports that are investigated, roughly a quarter are substantiated, which means there's evidence to support the conclusion by CYFD that a child has been abused or neglected. So only around 5,000 of the 40,000 reports are substantiated. A single report can include a few allegations, which results in about 9,000 total substantiated allegations per year. 73% are allegations of neglect, which is largely associated with the conditions of living in poverty. In these situations, CYFD decides whether in-home services can improve the child's living conditions and keep them with their family. Again, this is the goal. If the alternatives have been exhausted, the risk of harm is unacceptably great, and the parent is unable or unwilling to provide appropriate care, then CYFD begins the legal case by filing a petition with the court alleging abuse or neglect and filing a motion for custody of the child. In these cases, the major participants are the judge, who decides the case based on the evidence presented and the law, the child's attorney, either a guardian ad litem who advocates for the best interest of the child younger than 14, or a youth attorney who advocates for the wishes of a child 14 or older, the respondent's attorney who advocates for the parent's wishes and rights as protected by the 14th Amendment, and the children's court attorney who represents CYFD. There are several hearings and check-ins throughout the process, but 4 initial hearings determine custody of the child and whether CYFD will continue to intervene in the family's life. At the hearing on CYFD's motion for custody, the judge decides if the child can receive adequate care at home. If not, the court will give custody to CYFD. CYFD must also prove the allegations of abuse or neglect in an adjudicatory hearing. If proven, the case proceeds to a dispositional hearing where the judge orders the case plan and determines who gets legal custody of the child. Ultimately, this process works to find a permanent living situation for the child, with their parents or otherwise. A permanency hearing within a year of entering foster care determines if the child can return home safely. This is a long and tedious journey, but within the law, there are thorough processes and procedures that work in favor of the child, ensuring they are safe and stable while attempting to keep the family unit together.